In the following guided session, we're going to address a cognitive distortion known as the control fallacy. This has to do with mistaken beliefs we hold about how much control we have in certain situations. In the guided session, we're going to address 3 different types of control fallacy. The first one will be the fallacy of how much control we have about events that occur to us or things that people did to us. So this is control from the outside in, that we might feel that we had control in this situation, but we didn't really. But sometimes we hold on to that false sense of control as a way to control how much pain we feel. That if we feel control, then it takes away the control that the other person had over us. So it's natural that we would try and use that, at least subconsciously, to try and minimize the pain from whatever the event was that occurred to us. But it can be a chronic problem that we start to always believe that everything that happens is our fault, and then we don't place responsibility where it belongs. The second type of control fallacy is about how much control we have over others or over other situations. And the example we'll use is about our beliefs. If we have them, you might not have this problem, that we really have full power over how someone else feels or how someone else will respond to a situation or an event, how they'll respond to our feelings or our words. And then we feel like we are fully responsible for someone else's happiness. Now that may be true if we're raising small children, but in terms of other adults, it can be problematic when we subconsciously or consciously believe we have the power over them, that we can assure their continued happiness in life, or that it's our responsibility to make sure that all they feel is happiness and that they never feel sadness or disappointment or impatience or frustration, that somehow we believe that we should never allow that to occur. So we will contemplate that and realize that we don't have that much power as individuals, and that we shouldn't take that kind of responsibility anyway from another adult. And we'll think of a certain situation and see if we can reframe it and see how that feels in your body, in your heart, and in your mind to do that. In both of these cases involving other people, I don't recommend starting this practice for the first time with someone who has really hurt you deeply. So especially with the first cognitive distortion, that someone did something to us, if it was something deeply, deeply traumatic, this might not be a practice to start with that person, because it could just be re-traumatizing to think of them so much in this way. So you might think of someone who maybe did something to you, but it wasn't so profoundly hurtful. Maybe someone who you're competing with at work or in the professional scene, and they did something to you or something like that, or maybe a case of young love gone wrong, something like that, but nothing violent or truly devastating, but it's up to you. The third form of control fallacy that we'll deal with in this following session has to do with how much control we believe over our minds, especially during meditation practice. In this case, we'll take an extra close look at the meditation instructions and remind ourselves that we're not doing these instructions to try and change or improve the thinking mind. Sometimes we follow the instructions thinking, if I do this right, then my mind will be quiet. And it's that hope that if we do this one thing, we'll get this result. Sometimes we do get that result temporarily, but it's not permanent. And we have to let go of that in order to follow the instructions more truly, more for their true intention for what happens. Can we really let go and really allow the thinking mind to operate in the background without any attempt to change it? So those are the 3 types of control fallacy we'll address in the following practice.